Okay, hello guys. I'm doing something new just to see what happens. Um, I wanted to do a live. I wanted to do something like on live for a while now, but I've just been holding myself back. So I wanted to do a live just to see what happens. There's no heads up, so we'll see if anyone joins. But this is for people for later as well. Welcome back to Hammz Radio. If you've been here before, this channel, well, even and if you have not, but I know it's been a while since I've posted or anything, so my channel is really about finding a life after trauma. This live, I want to kind of just start sharing stuff that I'm learning just through meditation and being open to what the universe or source or God is telling me. I've been learning a lot, been developing a relationship with source, God, if you prefer that name, the universe. I like source. And so I wanted to start talking about it because I believe part of why I'm here on Earth is to help people expand their consciousness, expand their awareness, just become a little bit more aware of who they truly are. So this is the first attempt for that. I have no idea how this is going to look or anything, but I'm just going to basically start talking about things. If anyone joins, then I hope they ask questions and stuff. But if not, then this will just be along me talking about things I think about, and hopefully it hits the person. It draws in, well, I know this video will draw in the people that need to hear whatever I'm going to say. So if you're here, it's not by accident. So I just kind of want to see if anything like comes up, because one thing I'm trying to like work with, I believe, part of one of the things I can do is kind of take energy, like read energy. So, anything I say, these are my beliefs. I don't expect you to hold all the beliefs that I talk about, and just know that I'm going to be talking from a point of view with these beliefs, and take that, and you'll feel challenged inside when I say some of these things, and let it sit, let it kind of like allow you to ask the question, why did that trigger me? Why did that? Oh, I have somebody. Hello, welcome. So I'm just, right now I'm just, man, I don't know what I was talking about. But, oh, if I say anything that kind of like triggers you, allow that to give you an opportunity to question why. Why is a belief that I'm saying or anything that I'm saying kind of giving you pause or giving you frustration? So take this as an opportunity. Hello, welcome. But take anything that I say that may cause frustration for you as a way to look inside and be like, whoa. That's obviously triggering a wound. So if you allow the challenges to show you where your wounds are, that way you can you're bringing it to the conscious awareness. When you bring it to the conscious awareness, you are now able to do what is needed in order to address it. So it's taking things from the subconscious, bringing it to the conscious so that you can actually deal with it. So, yeah. Conscious, unconscious. Hello, welcome. If you have any questions or anything, I'm just talking about spirituality, I'm talking about healing, I'm talking about kind of trauma and ways through it, and how to develop strategies that are no longer self-damaging, more beneficial, and using trauma and using anything negative in your life as a way to fuel as a way to fuel your passion. So it's been interesting in my travels. One thing I've noticed is I've started to just notice the patterns around me. Patterns being like the behavior of animals is very interesting, because if you notice, like when I study like the behavior of animals, you can see kind of characteristics in humans. Like you'll see the reflection of certain characteristics in humans, as in I've noticed in birds, in reptiles, even in like fish. So it's been interesting to notice energy in humans that are reflected in the world around us, which I find very fascinating, and I believe is a way to understand the human psyche a little bit more, because I do believe we hold the vibration of everything, of every possibility inside of us. So yeah, so which is interesting just in itself. Hello, welcome. Hope you're doing well. So let's see, what else? What else do I want to say? So I'm just trying to like kind of feel what my higher self is trying to communicate, and so this is part of just learning how to kind of feel the energy and kind of interpret it. So if anybody watching want to chat, I don't know how to do any of this, so if I miss chats, then I'm sorry, but I'll figure out how to do that later. So I do want to start, other purpose of this live, I do want to start being more intentional about putting the energy that I'm trying to find in the world out there. So for example, I'm wearing an alien shirt that says I believe. So this is the energy I want to start putting out there, because I do want to start meeting other people who also believe in aliens. If I'm not willing to put the energy out there, how do I expect someone to match that energy with me? And there's been a couple instances when random people on the street have come up and told me a story of their abduction, or a story of aircraft or their encounters. But I have to be willing to put that energy out there in order to find the energy, because what I put out is what I'm going to get. What vibration I am, what kind of frequency I'm giving off is the frequency I'm going to draw into me. It's law of attraction thing. So you've seen an alien? I have not seen an alien to my knowledge, but that I do believe that I have watched people channel aliens before, and so I do believe that is true. I believe in Jesus. I do believe Jesus lived, but I also do believe that maybe things have been twisted. Man has twisted some of it. So I do believe in Jesus, and I do believe that he was an extremely connected person to Source, to God, and that is what kind of gave him his ability to do things. Channel aliens, what do you mean? Says Drake Smith. I watched this guy named Dara Anka. He channels an alien. So basically what happens, he like matches a vibration of the alien called Bashar, and he's able to deliver messages. Bashar is able to come through and deliver messages through Daryl's body in order to pass on information. Does that make sense? So in that sense, yes, and I do also believe that there are, there are. Does that sound far-fetched? Yeah, it does. It can sound far-fetched, absolutely. And when I first started learning about this, I was like, what? And I would have called anybody who's saying what I'm saying right now a lunatic, had this been like even a year ago. So I understand the skepticism around it and how far-fetched it can sound. Absolutely. Absolutely. But it is from my experience, and I'm not saying I'm correct. I always know that there's a possibility that I am wrong. So, but just from my experience, I believe that the channeling is truly what's happening. And even if it's not, as I listen to the information being shared, it makes sense to me, and I've applied the knowledge coming through, and it's worked, and my life is phenomenally more better. Like, so even if it's not an alien, even if it's whatever it is, the information is sound, the information is solid. So I don't care. I don't really care if it's wrong, but the belief does support what I like. It does support what I'm trying to do. It does support everything that I'm seeing and experiencing. But each your own. I mean, if it works for you, then all good. Maybe meditation then. I meditate as well. Drake, yeah. It does work for me. And it may not work for me tomorrow, or 2 months from now or whatever, but it works for me now, and I just keep the option open that I am wrong. So if I experience something that kind of counters that, then I'm able to take a step back and be like, okay, how does this fit in? How do I need to adjust my perspective to integrate this truth that I'm hearing? So, but yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. If anyone has any questions, by all means, I'm open to trying to answer whatever. Part of this live is for me to try to get more comfortable in real life communication and answering questions and all of that to the best of my ability. And so I'd like to do that. And this is all new. This is the first time I'm doing it. So please be open to whatever I'm saying is I'm still learning. So don't take anything too personal. Drake Smith says, my brother-in-law was talking about vibrations and whatnot to me a few months back. Kind of interesting, but a deep rabbit hole. Oh, for sure. Definitely. I feel like I've been in a nonstop rabbit hole for the last, it's been a little over 2 years now, and it just keeps going. So it is very expansive, and it's a crazy, wild ride. It's wonderful. There's a letting go that's kind of required to kind of just allow yourself to be sucked into this rabbit hole. And it's definitely it's an intense feeling. But that's part of it, So yeah, vibrations. So for me, when it comes back to vibrations, what I'm trying to do energetically, when we speak energetically, is I'm trying to locate the low vibrations that are keeping me stuck in whatever manner, and trying to figure out how to untangle that energy that has been blocked or whatever, in a way that allows me to bring back into alignment whatever energy was out of alignment. For me, it tends to be, okay, I'm a person of extreme as well, extreme. So if I'm, for me, I've lived much out of my masculine energy because I've had to. I had a weak father. I view this differently, but kind of not a weak father. And, well, he was kind of, anyways, he was avoidant, he was anger, but my mom kind of, anyways, that's a whole rabbit hole as well. But, what was I saying? Anyways, don't remember. Oh, low vibrations. So trying to untangle the low vibrations. And it's been exciting because I believe part of my journey when it comes to being on Earth is to neutralize negative energy. So I'm taking negative energy, and this is my own. I think you naturally have good vibes. Contagious. Daddy issues. I mean, yeah. Yes, definitely daddy issues, and that has definitely been interesting. I'm just learning about astrology too, and something about Saturn being in the 4th house means a difficult childhood, especially when it comes to father, because Saturn represents limitations and discipline. But still learning all of that. So I also understand like the experiences I've gone through as a child, I have attracted them to myself because of the energy that I was born into. So trying to flip that, because I've always had a viewpoint of, oh, I'm messed up, or I'm acting this way because my dad did this, or because my mom did this, or because I went through that, not realizing, whoa, 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 I chose this energy to be, and I chose this vibration, which means I chose to attract these types of situations. I chose to experience this kind of energy, and I may not understand it completely, but I believe that at this point, I am here to help transmute some of the darker energy, like darker energy. So in order to be able to sit in that deep energy and that dark energy, I have to be able to have lived it. And I know ways, I have to have experienced it. Texas. Been soul searching. Oh, is this Tejas? No. Texas? Texas. Been soul searching my whole life, and what I found out so far is to love and help everyone around you. Spread positivity and try not to judge anyone when they don't get it. Different paths. Oh, totally. That has been a yes. Try not to judge anyone when they don't get it. That is difficult for me, was a major piece of it, because I always told myself, oh, well, it worked for me, it will work for them. I need to give them this information. They need to know this. And understanding that, whoa. I don't understand their path. I don't understand their experiences, and I don't understand the lessons they've chosen to learn in their lifetime. And it's not up to me to try to be involved in everybody and try to fix everybody, because I don't know their path. Love and help everyone around you. Yep, I've learned that. Love and service. Drake, for sure, it's nice being able to look at your past and see why you're who you are. Okay, I'll say with astronomy, a full moon brings something out in people. Yeah, I've always heard that my entire life, but I've been so cut off from Source, God, my entire life that I never really felt it. I just thought people were just making stuff up or just acting crazy because they thought they could. You seem cool and balanced, definitely going in the right direction. You're not alone. Ooh, thank you. And balance, it makes me laugh that you say cool and balanced, because I definitely, for the first, this kind of energy is very new. Last year and a half, 2 years about. Before that, definitely not balanced, I would say. So it's kind of cool to see that reflected back at me through you, Texas 39. So thank you. That was some validation for the direction that I knew I was going in, but it's nice to see that reflected back in the external world from time to time, you know. So not alone. Excellent. That's so awesome. Anybody else have questions or anything like that for now? I can say, like, right now I'm like super like not frantic, but definitely like buzzy, like I guess frantic. I hope your channel grows. Thank you. Thank you, 4748X. Thank you. So a little bit about me just right now. I started my spiritual journey about 2 years ago in May, and that was when I was told to let go of everything. I was told I needed to leave. I needed to cut contact with everybody. I needed to just dip out, like literally disappear off the face of the earth and not tell anybody anything about what I was doing. Thank you, Drake. He says, well, I'm sure you already know, but you have a beautiful smile. Gotta run. Best of luck on YouTube. Thank you, Drake. Goodbye. So after I got that intense message of letting go, I couldn't, but I did spend the next 7 months kind of hid out in my friend's house, just getting ready to leave. So I did leave 7 months later. So December 2022, I left. I changed my number and left. I was not in contact with anybody. And I spent the next 11 months traveling, trying to figure out who I was. I realized that who I was wasn't who I actually was. I wasn't happy with who I was. I didn't like myself. And in order to find myself, I figured I needed to get myself out of this energy that I know highly influences my behavior. So I needed to cut all contact with any energy from my past life so I can figure out who I actually was. I had no idea. So traveled around a bit, basically keeping myself in a constant state. I didn't consciously know this is what I'm doing, but when I was looking back, I realized this really helped me. But I kept myself kind of in a constant state of chaos, not really staying places too long, just always kind of go, 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 go. Even now I'm traveling back and forth from an island in Belize, Monday through Friday, and then I travel back to the mainland, and then Monday I go back out, and then Friday I come back out. So there's been highly chaotic kind of energy on purpose, because in the chaos, I can see what is consistent, what stays the same, and what stays the same. Oh, okay, that's me. So what is the same? And so I've just been doing a lot of just soul searching, really digging deep and figuring out what is everything about? Why am I here? Why have I felt so I don't belong? Why do I feel so wrong and not I'm not meant to do what I'm doing? I don't know, it was a super weird feeling, and not feeling good in my skin, and not feeling good in just who I was, and feeling like any part of me that I wanted to express or share with the world, I was always told, no, that was wrong. Don't do that. So anything that felt good, I internalized it as wrong. So anytime I moved in direction, yes, yep, I was waking up. Definitely still waking up on definitely so many levels. It's crazy the levels this happens in, because I could be on level 1 in this area, but level 37 in this area, and 500 in this area levels. But depending on where my trauma was, because I believe, your trauma, trauma defines the limit to your behavior, right? So the trauma is forming these rigid, don't do that, behave this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. And it's being able to push against those boundaries in a way that's gentle but firm, so that, and in a safe way, making sure that you feel safe in the way that you are handling what you're doing. And over time, you start to trust yourself, and you can just you'll know the areas. I began to know, okay, this is an area I can push it. It's uncomfortable, but I'm not torturing myself doing it. There's other areas, it's when it came to food, and it came to sleep, and the cold. Those were very, very hard boundaries when it came to pushing up those limits. I knew I could not be as lenient with those boundaries. But I pushed boundaries where I could. I allowed boundaries to stay that demanded to be stayed, but I gave it enough love to know that I wasn't forcing it to change. I wasn't going to force my boundaries. It's there for a reason. All my boundaries have been decided, or all my boundaries were put there in order to protect me. So I can't betray myself by just pushing through those boundaries if I haven't given myself permission to do that, because then that would be another act of self-betrayal. But it's allowing, it's constantly this minute balance between pushing and kind of giving in, pushing the boundaries, giving in, and understanding the energy of what's going on. So that's been super crazy journey so far. And I haven't been able to really share a lot of this, because a lot of people just didn't know. I couldn't talk to anybody because no one else was going through what I was going through. But what it did allow me was time to take care of myself. I have lived a life where I thought I am super dependent on other people. I can't survive without other people. Like, I didn't know how to cook. I never lived alone. I never really, I always put myself in a situation where other people were around to take care of me. So being alone was actually very, very necessary to develop that independence and knowledge that I could take care of myself. Because if I'm constantly dependent on the people around me, how much can I actually exert my will if I feel like, ooh, like I can't piss them off too bad. I can't be fully myself, because if they decide they don't want to take care of me, so now I have to subdue who I really am. Now that I can fully take care of myself, I don't have to be apologetic about who I am, because I know I don't need them. Like, to survive, I don't need them. To be happy, I don't need them. Their opinion is, irrelevant, because all I need is the opinion of myself and understanding that I can take care of myself. So developing that. So this had to be a solo journey for me. People, Texas says, "You're awesome. Don't stop your journey." I don't plan to. I'm like, the feeling this journey, just the feeling is so good. Like, there's no way I can abandon this. Zero way. And that's why I'm to the point now that I can start talking to people on the internet about this, when I was too afraid 2 years ago to even have an opinion, because I had no idea how to defend it. So now that I'm more sure in my beliefs and my opinions, like, anyways, but yeah. Hi, Rudy. It is so awesome to hear how much you have grown and how bold you have become. We are proud of you. Miss you guys. Thank you for joining. So yeah, the other thing is, there's been a lot of talk, well, for me, when it comes for like masculine and feminine energy, that's been kind of a main highlight for my journey. I know, like I said a little while ago, that I've had to embody a lot of masculine energy. And if you're into astrology at all, like the big three, sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign, all the big three for me are masculine energies. So I know I bring a lot of masculine energy in with my behavior and stuff. But also understanding that when I'm if I'm in a masculine kind of state, like, it's impossible to attract the masculine, because there's a flip in polarity. So what I will be attracting are more feminine men, because I'm so strongly in my masculine. I've been working on that. I'm a little bit more feminine now, even though you can't tell right now, but I am. I've definitely put work into that. But it's understanding. I've always given myself a hard time for being more masculine, because I would look around and like, well, society tells me like I'm not feminine enough. So I needed to be okay with what I thought was too masculine energy that's coming through, and I have to remind myself, I chose this energy to come into. I needed to embody this energy for some reason. I need this energy to integrate this energy in order to carry out my mission. So instead of looking at it like a problem, I try to look at things like, okay, why would I have picked to experience this? Why would my higher self need me to go through this? What lesson will I need in the future from this? So I try to figure out how this will help me forward, rather than focus on how it could weigh me down. So it's It's learning to change my way of looking at things, so that negative emotions don't immediately come up. If you're constantly battling these negative emotions, like you just, if you're constantly, I lost my train of thought. Okay, that happens sometimes. That happens, actually hasn't happened at all until now, so I'm impressed. But yeah. I'm happy to see the person you are now. So dope. Hello, Clemens. Long time. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So yeah, so that masculine, so understanding, because I definitely have been thinking about, I need I need a partner, not a need a partner. I would prefer a partner. I understand my wounds in order to fully heal the wounds that I have. I need I need a partner in order to heal that, because my wounds are were created inside relationships. I need relationships in order to heal those aspects. So I can't heal relational aspects by myself. That's just not going to work. So I know a partner's coming, but I need to become the person that I agreed to be with. So I'm just not that person yet, or that person would be in my life. Okay, Clemens says, I'm out. Just wanted to jump in and show some love and support. Thank you. Okay. So being in my masculine as much as I had to be in order to survive my childhood, the energy that I asked to come into this world as, I know I need to balance it out with some feminine energy, and that will bring that masculine energy a little bit closer to neutral. And because I don't want to keep attracting those like the feminine men, because that when you flip polarity like that, when you flip the feminine energy and the masculine energy, when you flip that polarity, it just doesn't work out. It's not neither energy is functioning in the way it was designed to function when that polarity is flipped. So if I want to attract masculine, I need to bring out my feminine energy, because once I do bring out that feminine energy will naturally attract the masculine energy that I'm looking for. Because I understand what I need from the masculine is total support, availability, because these are the opposite of my wounds. So I was rejected a lot. I was abandoned a lot. I was betrayed a lot. So I would need a partner who embodies the opposite of those in order to heal those wounds. But also understanding that I can't make the other person act in a way. So I can't demand that men act more masculine around me, right? Like that's not feminine energy. Feminine energy is a little bit more receptive, open. So it's still only focusing on what I can control, which is me, and not allowing what other people do, what is out of my control, to change who I am. I don't know where I was going with that, but we'll stop there. But yeah, just a lot of things go through my brain. Another thing I've noticed is I've been cultivating this ability to kind of see things from a larger picture, and I think that has helped me out of my suffering, because instead of being like, woe is me, like this is painful, yes, but from a higher perspective, from your higher self, what is the purpose of this pain? That is easier for me to deal with than this sucks. Let's just believe it will benefit me. No. How does it benefit me now? Sorry, sometimes I get scattered. How does it benefit me now? Oh yeah, so I like in the moment being like, how can this benefit me? For example, when I went home for a little bit, it was rainy and wet. I knew when I went back for a little bit and it was like rainy and wet, it was trying, like the rainy and wetness was trying to show me something or tell me something. What it was doing was allowing me to practice being cold. I said earlier in this live that one of my biggest triggers is the cold. When it starts getting cold, it literally feels like my actual nerves are turning to ice. So it just feels like my bones are freezing and like literally I'm freezing from the inside out. That's what it feels like. So that being my biggest trigger, of course, I wasn't going to choose to be in such an environment, but I had to go back home for dental. So I believe part of the reason I had to go home for dental was to put me in that situation so that I could practice being relaxed in a highly stressful situation for my body. How can I relax in face of one of my biggest triggers? Can I survive this? What can I do to make myself more comfortable? But one of the biggest things when it comes to discomfort is relaxation, is literally feeling the tenseness in your body and physically telling your body to like relax. That is very difficult to do. I have spent the last, I want to say, year and a half, the last year focusing on this. So now when my nervous system gets jolted, I naturally relax into the tenseness so that I still allow that energy the space it needs to actually be itself. I'm not squishing the energy. I'm not trying to suppress it. I'm allowing the energy to do what it needs to do to fully go through its cycle. What I'm not allowing myself to do is engage with the energy to make it bigger. That's what I normally had done in the past. Is when you get triggered, like let's say you get triggered, but someone cuts you off. Like, can you stop that anger from coming into your body and exploding into your head, and now you want to like run the guy down in your car? Like it's being able to relax in that anger energy as it comes in through your body so that it doesn't overtake you, so that you're not trying to, now you don't have road rage. But it is difficult. When I started, literally I got like split second, like it wasn't long at all. But it's every single time I tried and I got that millimeter, like itty bitty little second. Every time I did that, every time, it was just building on, can you do that nanosecond over and over and over and over and over until you've exposed yourself to this enough so that you can, that you're just accustomed to it, if that makes sense. Yeah. Which is very interesting when it comes to like that exposureness. People have heard about exposure therapy, where we start down like a list of, like, let's say, like for me, I almost drowned when I was little. So for me, water has been a huge trigger for me, even when I'm like trying to just wash my face in the sink, or if I'm in the shower and the water is getting on my face, the water would trigger these like my inability to breathe. So what I did is probably a little bit more extreme than exposure therapy tends to be, but I tried to snorkel. I couldn't snorkel, but I did scuba diving. So that was exposing myself to the water in a scenario that my body's going to panic. So what I learned, after I learned about my drowning, almost drowning, what happens is there is this, it's called the mammalian dive reflex. All mammals have it. And when the mammal is submerged underwater, especially the face is a huge trigger for it. What'll happen, the body will kind of shut down in like a energy saver mode. It will reduce the heart rate. It will cut off your ability to breathe. It's called apnea. It's the inability to breathe. So your body literally will not breathe in if you are underwater until your face feels air. So once your face feels air, then you'll start breathing again. So I found out it was very triggering for me, especially around the eyes. So when I started scuba diving, there's one thing you had to do is you have to allow water into your mask. And so that obviously triggered it. But that was an exposure to my fear of drowning, was being able to put water on my face and be underwater. And then forcing myself to breathe, even though my body had learned if I'm underwater, I can't breathe, because I almost died that one time. And then after that, I exposed myself a little bit more extreme, but to free diving. So I had to hold my breath. Holding my breath was another trigger for the drowning. So it was a lot of just minute working on, even if it seemed like this huge fear, okay, what can I do right now to kind of, that would be a courageous step in the right direction to beat this. So for me, I have a lot of anxiety about everything. So a simple walk to the store was enough to expose myself to anxiety. Traveling around and being different spots, not knowing how things work, not knowing the language. Very high anxiety for me, but my anxiety was in my way for so many things. I needed to increase my tolerance for it so I could do more things. A lot of there were weeks during my travels that I really didn't leave my hostel or my hotel because there was too much anxiety, and the anxiety to go outside was more than the need to eat at sometimes. So exposing myself. So again, like literally just taking a walk. It does not matter. That would not look like a huge, accomplishment to most people. But it helped me expose myself. Okay, this makes me anxious. Okay, let's do it anyways. This makes me anxious. Let's do it anyways. This makes me anxious. Let's do it anyways. And it's just doing that over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And for me, it just felt like, okay, I'm just anxious about everything. Like, when will it stop? And then it'll be like one day I walk to the store and I walk back and I realize, whoa, I had no anxiety about going. I had no anxiety when I was doing that. I had no anxiety. I spoke to the dude in the little bit of a Spanish that I knew to do whatever I did. So it's understanding it's all these little actions, little that get to build up, and finally, everything breaks loose. I like to use the analogy of like a landslide. If a bank ends up crumbling, goes across the street, if you look at the mechanics leading up to that landslide, it's not like one big branch broke and it let all the dirt slide. No. It was years of a rock shifting here, a branch or like a twig dying here, a rock dropping here, until you do that last shift, the last twig breaks. And then everything, now you see the evidence of the years of work that bank was doing when it was crumbling. So it's the same thing. Like, if you can just slowly, I slowly just pick at the momentum of the energy. So I envision things as like a big ball that's rolling down a hill. It's coming down this steep hill because it took 32 years to gain all that momentum when I started. 32 years to gain that momentum. Right now, all I'm doing is throwing rocks at it. But every rock, I'm slowing the stone down just very little bit, just a very little bit. Eventually, you'll start to notice visually, okay, that stone is slowing down. But it took me a minute to understand I need to dig in and do the work for a minute, maybe, to start seeing these huge results that I'm wanting to see in my life. So it's understanding every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. The other analogy I hear people use all the time is if you take a rock and you hit it 1,000 times with a hammer. For the first 999 times, nothing happens. On the 1,000th one, the rock shatters. It's not like that 1,000th hit actually shattered the rock. It was the accumulation of the 999 prior to that, plus the 1,000 that broke it. So it's, again, little by little, which can be difficult because sometimes, some days, it feels like I haven't done anything. Like, like, where's all my progress? Why do I feel like shit right now? Like, why do I feel so unworthy? Why do I feel like everyone hates me today? And it's being able to sit in that energy when it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better, but still having faith that it will. Like, that's difficult. That used to be the times, when, I would just numb out. So like now there's no condition to try to numb out for me. I used to drink a lot of alcohol. I used to do a lot of cocaine, and I used to do other things. So, but that there's no craving for that anymore, because I have the tolerance to sit with these feelings. I have the tolerance, and I have the tools, and I have the knowledge to caretake myself, and ask if I need. I'm still working on the asking part, but being able to caretake myself when I need to. So that's some stuff. How's everyone doing? Any questions from anybody? Any comments? I don't know, anything? It is hot in here. Right now I am in Belize, just hanging out. I do scuba diving Monday through Friday, out on one of the islands. And that's what I've been doing. Rudy says, hearing you share, it's inspiring. You have endured many a trial, and those experiences will help someone else. That is what I'm hoping, and I believe that's why I went through my experiences. It was in order to help other people. So it is also part of why I'm doing this live, is to start reaching out, start putting out my energy so that the people that need my energy can find me. I should say, make it easier for them to find me. Make it easier for the universe to get us together. So, yeah, that's the goal, is to get out. I do plan on doing this for the next 3 weeks as well. I wanted to do 4 weeks just to see what'll happen. So about this time as well, we'll work for that. I think for now that will be it today. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your input, Rudy. P.S. I haven't had a drink in over 1.5 years, so I'm on the journey for my growth. You inspire. Keep going strong. Thank you so much, Rudy. And that's awesome. 1.5 years. Congrats, man. That's amazing. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. This will be it for today. I will do the same thing next week, like I said, around the same time, and hope to see you guys then. Thank you so much. Bye. Do I just exit?